Hollywood's shaking, careers are collapsing, and one name keeps coming up. Rachel Zegler, once celebrated as the next big star, she's now at the center of a scandal that could ruin everything she's worked for. From standing ovations to tear-filled breakdowns, from red carpets to bodyguards, the fallout is spiraling faster than anyone expected. Disney's fury, Gal Gadot's brutal words, and leaked documents are all pointing to one thing: Rachel's career might be over. Stick around, because what I'm about to reveal will expose the dark side of fame, corporate revenge, and how one actress's choices may cost her everything. Let's dive into the shocking truth behind her downfall. Rachel Zegler just made headlines with a shocking revelation that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood. She received the longest standing ovation in the history of Evita, yet instead of basking in the applause, she broke down in tears right on stage. Sources say it wasn't just emotion, it was pressure. Disney and Gal Gadot are said to be planning to retaliate, and this could ruin her career before it even recovers. Stay tuned, because what I'm about to share about Rachel's collapse and Disney's revenge strategy will completely change how you see this story. Rachel is now facing consequences far worse than anyone expected. Disney's internal documents are leaking details that could alter her life forever. First, I'll walk you through the shocking breakdown during her Evita run, and why she's resorted to hiring bodyguards just to walk outside. Second, you'll see footage of Gal Gadot calling Rachel a woke clown and blaming her for their $250 million disaster. Third, I'll explain how Disney is reportedly preparing legal action that could lead to jail time or massive fines. Don't click away, because in the final segment, I'll expose how her personal struggles with addiction and violent outbursts are being used against her in court. But before we dive into this spiraling drama, you need to understand what led Rachel here. As you probably know, Rachel starred in Disney's Snow White reboot, a $370 million project that collapsed at the box office, grossing only $142.8 million worldwide. It's now labeled one of the worst-performing films in Disney's history. On top of that, Rachel's controversial political remarks during promotion made things worse. She openly criticized the original character of Prince Charming, calling him a stalker, and clashed with Gal Gadot over comments about the Israel-Palestine conflict. The result: Rotten Tomatoes gave it a dismal 20%, while IMDb's user ratings plummeted to 1.6 out of 10. Now, three major players, Disney, Gal, and others, are set to destroy her career. And the situation is spiraling fast. After wrapping up her Evita performances on London's West End, multiple witnesses confirmed that Rachel received the longest standing ovation in the show's history. But instead of celebrating, she broke down crying mid-performance. According to theater insiders, she appeared constantly distracted and was seen searching for her therapist during rehearsals. At times, she even bumped into fellow actors. There were discussions behind closed doors about replacing her entirely. What's worse, Rachel's mental health has deteriorated following the Snow White debacle. Fans have reportedly pelted her with objects like tomatoes during live performances. The situation escalated to the point where she had to hire bodyguards for protection whenever she left her hotel. This isn't just about negative reviews, it's about a total breakdown that's now being captured on camera for the world to see. But that's only the beginning. Gal Gadot, Rachel's co-star in Snow White, is reportedly one of the biggest forces behind the backlash. In leaked audio from an interview, Gal didn't hold back, calling Rachel a woke clown and accusing her of single-handedly tanking the film. She claimed that Rachel's inability to stay quiet about her political opinions during the promotion destroyed their working relationship and made the film unsalvageable. Gal reportedly stated, "I really enjoyed filming the movie. We laughed, we had fun, and I believed it would be a huge hit." But she added, then October 7 happened, and the industry became flooded with pressure on celebrities to speak out against Israel. Rachel couldn't keep her mouth shut. It ruined everything. The tension reached such levels that Disney had to hire personal security for Gal Gadot after she received online threats. Even news anchors covering the fallout were visibly confused, at one point calling it a post office failure instead of box office. Gal also pointed out, teamwork is everything when making a movie. You need cohesion between characters like the Evil Queen and Snow White. We didn't have that. Every setback was exhausting. This leads us to the second major player, Disney itself. Internal reports show that Disney is aggressively distancing itself from Rachel. According to sources, they've made it clear she will never be cast in another Disney project. The brand damage she's caused is considered irreparable. And here's the most shocking part. Contrary to rumors that Rachel might sue Disney, leaked documents suggest the opposite. Disney is preparing legal action against her for breach of contract and promotional sabotage. During Snow White's troubled promotion, Disney had to assign social media managers to monitor Rachel's accounts around the clock, ensuring she didn't post inflammatory content that could further hurt the film. One insider revealed that Disney producer Mark Platt flew from Los Angeles to New York to personally confront Rachel and remind her of the state. The producer's son later defended the intervention, saying, "My dad, responsible for a massive Disney project worth hundreds of millions, had to leave his family to fly across the country to warn a 20-year-old star about how damaging her political posts were. This is how deep the crisis runs, and the numbers back it up. The fallout is catastrophic, and it's just the beginning." Disney reportedly poured nearly $370 million into Snow White. Almost $400 million when you include marketing, trying to reinvent the classic fairy tale into a modern social commentary. But after that huge investment, what did they actually get? A disastrous $43 million opening weekend, mass audience walkouts, and headlines that screamed failure. Even Dumbo, a film about a flying elephant, performed better in theaters. It's hard to believe, but it's true. The embarrassment didn't stop there. In its second weekend, Snow White saw a staggering 66% drop in ticket sales, earning just $14.2 million and slipping to second place behind the action flick, A Hard-Working Man. That film played in 1,000 fewer theaters and had no multi-million-dollar Disney marketing campaign backing it. Think about that. An under-the-radar action film outperformed Disney's crown jewel remake. Even The Chosen Last Supper, which was available in half the number of theaters, nearly outgrossed it. As of March 30, 2025, Snow White had grossed approximately $66.9 million in the US and Canada, with another $75.8 million from international markets, bringing the worldwide total to around $142.8 million. When I crunched the numbers, I was floored. Analysts predict the film's total losses could top $100 million. This isn't just a flop, it's a cinematic disaster that some are calling, should we erase it from history? Bad. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. The third major factor in Rachel Zegler's downfall isn't the box office alone, it's her spiraling mental health and toxic behavior. Multiple crew members and co-stars have come forward describing a Rachel who's emotionally unstable and addicted to controversy. The backlash from Snow White hasn't just ruined her reputation, it's taken a toll on her well-being. Sources say Rachel's been attending therapy constantly, overwhelmed by anxiety about her career. And while Evita appeared to be a triumph, her breakdowns on stage told a different story. She cried uncontrollably, unable to mask the pressure weighing her down. If this was supposed to be a career high point, it's hard to understand why she appeared shattered. What's more disturbing is the constant reports of her outbursts at co-stars and crew. Lighting technicians, stagehands, and even fellow actors were reportedly targets of her rage. She's been seen snapping at staff doing their jobs, frustrated and angry, in ways that left everyone on edge. Her political activism, once seen as a courageous stand, has now alienated her closest allies. People who once rallied behind her are distancing themselves, exhausted by her relentless need for confrontation. Friends worry she's isolating herself and pushing support networks away. This downward spiral isn't just psychological, it's about to have serious real-world consequences. Sources close to the situation say Disney is preparing to hit her where it hurts most, with legal action that could lead to prison time or massive fines. This isn't idle gossip, it's the kind of fallout that could end careers. The drama reached new heights at the film's premiere. Instead of a red carpet event, witnesses say the turnout was painfully sparse. Rachel reportedly arrived with a group of friends, likely for support, and posted footage of buying tickets herself on social media, turning the event into meme fodder. Instead of showcasing a blockbuster premiere, it looked like a private screening for a handful of fans. The clips she posted had all the signs of someone desperately trying to control the narrative. She smiled for the camera, but viewers couldn't help but see the emptiness of it all. It was like watching someone gleefully embrace failure, trying to spin humiliation into entertainment, but only succeeding in highlighting how isolated she's become. What makes it even worse is that Rachel had previously declared with confidence that audiences would line up to see her movie. Well, that line aged terribly. Fans waited in line all right, but for everything except Snow White. The disconnect between her boasts and reality made the backlash even harsher. After the disastrous opening, Rachel posted another baffling message online. To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see. Honestly, this response left me speechless. Here she is boasting about fans lining up while theaters are nearly empty. The message only confirmed suspicions that she's spiraling into narcissism, unable to face reality. The consequences are now becoming painfully clear. Industry insiders reveal that Disney has quietly removed Rachel from several major projects. She was slated to voice a character in Toy Story 5. That role is gone. Rumors that she would star in the next Pirates of the Caribbean installment have evaporated. Even a horror trilogy in partnership with Blumhouse that could have revived her career has been cancelled. And it's not stopping there. Disney quietly pulled the live-action Tangled remake from production. Reports suggested Rachel was being considered for the role of Rapunzel, but after Snow White's fallout, executives decided it was too risky. The most devastating move, Disney is reportedly scrapping future controversial reboots altogether. They're distancing themselves from projects that could bring more negative publicity, and Rachel is being used as a warning example. The merchandise tells its own story. Disney shipped limited runs of Snow White dolls, mugs, and t-shirts, hoping scarcity would drive demand. Instead, shelves remain stocked months later. Retailers are struggling to give the products away, and if you thought things couldn't get worse, they did. Weeks after Snow White's failure, the live-action Minecraft film hit theaters and smashed expectations. A movie about blocks, zombies, and Jack Black shouting into a microphone outperformed Snow White by miles, turning what should have been Disney's comeback into their biggest embarrassment. So what does this mean for Rachel Zegler? Is this the end of her Hollywood career, or is there any path to redemption? The evidence against her keeps piling up, and the industry seems ready to cut ties completely. The fallout from Snow White just keeps getting uglier, and Rachel Zegler's future looks more uncertain with each passing day. Industry insiders are convinced this disaster could destroy her career, not just as a leading actress, but as someone Hollywood simply doesn't want to touch anymore. And it's not just talk. The evidence is piling up, and the decisions being made behind the scenes are harsh, calculated, and unforgiving. According to sources close to Disney, executives are moving swiftly to sever all ties with Rachel. Internal memos reportedly label her as a liability too unpredictable, too controversial, and far too reckless with her platform. One insider even revealed that Disney is exploring how to legally recoup some of the losses stemming from her actions. Breach of contract, sabotage, and promotional misconduct are all on the table, and lawyers are already preparing arguments for court. Beyond legal action, multiple projects are being quietly shelved. Animated films that once had Rachel attached are being recast. A potential romance drama meant to pair her with a rising star has been pulled altogether. Even streaming deals are being reconsidered. Executives fear that associating with her could damage other actors' reputations and invite more online backlash. No one wants that headache, one insider said bluntly. Meanwhile, Rachel's public image continues to spiral. On social media, fans who once praised her activism are distancing themselves. Several influencers who collaborated with her have deleted posts or blocked her accounts. Comment sections are flooded with harsh words, ranging from mockery to outright hostility. It's the kind of backlash few public figures ever recover from. Her mental health seems to be deteriorating as well. There are reports of her missing rehearsals, showing up late to events, and canceling interviews without explanation. Friends close to the actress say she's exhausted, paranoid, and increasingly withdrawn. The pressure of public scrutiny and industry rejection is taking its toll, and there's concern she might spiral into deeper isolation. Then there's the fear that the legal consequences won't just be financial. Some lawyers have speculated that if Disney can prove intentional sabotage, criminal charges could be pursued. While it's unclear if that's likely, the very fact that it's being discussed sends a chilling message across Hollywood. No one is untouchable. And let's not forget the merchandising disaster. Disney's $50 million merchandising campaign for Snow White flopped so badly that retailers are still trying to offload unsold products, shelves remain packed, and customers are openly laughing at marketing displays. Even children's stores have started pulling Snow White items quietly, afraid of associating with a brand that's quickly becoming toxic. The industry has also begun restructuring its marketing approach. Executives are meeting to reevaluate how political activism intersects with film promotion. Some insiders fear that stars might be banned from speaking out during promotional campaigns altogether, an unfortunate development spurred by Rachel's controversial choices. But there's another layer to this story that's perhaps even darker. Hollywood insiders believe Rachel's downfall could serve as a warning to other rising stars. Ambition without discipline, activism without strategy, and ego without accountability are being spotlighted as career-ending behavior. Even sympathetic voices are saying she's burned bridges she can't rebuild. Where does this leave her now? Sources suggest that her team is scrambling to control the narrative, pushing feel-good interviews and heartwarming personal stories in hopes of salvaging her reputation. Yet the damage feels irreversible. Some believe her only chance lies in stepping away from the spotlight entirely and undergoing serious rehabilitation emotionally, mentally, and professionally. As for Disney, it seems poised to move on without her. A new slate of films is already in the works, filled with safer, more bankable stars. Executives are reinforcing their PR defenses and quietly warning other actors not to follow Rachel's path. So, is this the end of Rachel Zegler's Hollywood dream? Everything points to yes, but Hollywood is unpredictable, and redemption arcs, while rare, aren't impossible. Will she fight to reclaim her career, or will she fade into obscurity? Only time will tell. What do you think? Should Hollywood give Rachel a second chance, or is it time to cut ties and move forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest scandals and controversies. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.